Good evening. The December 16th meeting of the Sayreville Board of Education is now called to order. Please rise for the pledge to the flag.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Bashada, roll call, please.
Here. Yes.
Mrs. Hernandez?
Here.
Mrs. Maldonado?
Here.
Maldonado, excuse
Here.
me. Mrs. Napolitano?
Here.
Mrs. Plabone? Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mrs. Bloom?
Summarize executive session.
Yes, the board met in the executive session at 6:30 this evening to discuss student matters, SEA negotiations, and also litigation with client attorney privilege.
Any correspondence of note?
None.
Okay, we need a motion to approve the minutes of previous meeting.
Second.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Okay. Mr. Callahan?
Yes.
Mr. Fernandez?
Yes.
Mrs. Hernandez?
Yes.
Mrs. Maldonado?
Yes.
Mrs. Napolitano?
Abstain.
Mrs. Pabon? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom?
Yes. Okay, and now to our favorite part of the meeting. Good evening, ladies. How are you? You got my little gifts? Sweets for the sweets. Okay, Morgan, let us know what's going on.
Good evening, Board of Education members and administrators. My name is Morgan Kuntz, SWMHS Student Council Board of Education Representative. I would like to begin with clubs and activities. Before break, the peer leaders met with unified students to make Thanksgiving turkey art designs. Students in advanced placement art history class spent a day visiting the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. Many of the artworks that they study in class are located in the museum, so the students were able to participate in a scavenger hunt to find them all. The guidance department took 28 juniors and seniors to Raritan Valley Community College for the Malcolm Bernard Historically Black Colleges and Universities College Fair. With over 40 schools represented, students had the opportunity to network and speak directly with college admissions representatives. Several students received multiple on-the-spot acceptances and scholarships. Congratulations to Michaela Ajamin, who was recently selected by the Lions Club International Board of Directors to serve on the Leo Advisory Panel for the Lions Club Constitutional Area 1. She is now the third Sayreville Leo to be on the Leo Advisory Panel. The Theater Society presented the Jeff Cox production, Puffs. It was directed by Miss Kelsey Rivera Wu, who is the theater director at the high school. We thank Miss Rivera Wu, staff members, volunteers, and students for putting on an amazing fall show. Miss Sachs, the student assistance coordinator, organized a How to Help a Friend presentation at the middle school and the high school, which gave students the opportunity to present to their peers. Additionally, the ROTC Cadets Awareness Presentation Team visited the middle school to provide presentations on bullying awareness. Congratulations to Dr. Amankwa for being named Teacher of the Month by Ms. Sachar. We further congratulate Ms. Donnelly for being named Teacher of the Year, Ms. Morris for Support Staff of the Year, and Ms. Casa Bucky for Paraprofessional Support Staff of the Year. Moving on to sports. Congratulations to Coach Pasva from the girls cross country team and Coach Cefelli from the boys soccer team for winning Greater Middlesex Conference Coaches of the Year. The boys bowling team won their first match of the season over J.P. Stevens High School. The girls bowling team defeated Middlesex High School to earn their first victory of the season. The boys swim team is starting off strong with a record of 3-0 after defeating Old Bridge, J.P. Stevens, and Piscataway High Schools. The wrestling team defeated Spotswood and Red Bank Regional High Schools to improve their season record to 2-0. The boys basketball team beat Oratory Prep School to start their season with a record of 1-0. Thank you for your time and support.
Thank you, Morgan. Dr. Labby, do you have any questions? for
Oh,
Morgan?
wait, I also forgot to say one more thing. Michael Wazenko from the swim team re-broke his 500 freestyle record and his 200 IM record, I'm pretty sure.
Wow. And we know how the girls' team is doing, but how are you doing in your races?
Going into the season, I thought I forgot how to swim, but I'm doing pretty good so far.
Fantastic. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to get the chance to go over and see you.
Thank you.
And then any special plans for the holidays?
I don't know, but I know I'm sleeping over at my grandparents' house on Christmas Eve, and we're celebrating Christmas at their house.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Great job as always, and we wish you a very happy holidays.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, Samantha.
Good evening, Board of Education members and administrators. My name is Samantha Callahan, Sayreville Middle School Student Council Board of Education representative. Going into the fourth month of the 2025 to 2026 school year, we have many events going on throughout Sayreville Middle School. The SMS PTO is looking for acts for the SMS Got Talent on January 9th. Turkey Tray tickets went on sale this week. The Turkey Tray will be held January 30th. Please visit the SMS PTO website for more details. The Student Council hosted the Fall Anything Goes Assembly. For the first time, the 7th grade students went over the faculty. Students and faculty had a blast participating in various activities through the period. We are looking forward to the spring assembly. Student Council is hosting the last Spirit Week in 2025 this week. In January, they will be selling winter grams to raise funds for school activities. The Executive Board will be attending the Winter Conference at TCNJ to network and gain ideas to bring to our school community. The Community Service Club dropped the CASA gifts off on Friday. They collected gifts for over 75 kids. They'll be hosting a Panera fundraiser on Friday from 4 to 8 p.m. The Career Club will be visiting the courthouse tomorrow. Some students from the middle school FBLA chapter are currently working on their competitive events for the year and are eager to start working on them in preparation for the State Leadership Conference in March. Now on to the Sayreville Middle School Fall Athletics. The Sayreville Middle School blue and gray boys basketball teams are off to a great start. The blue team is currently 2-0, the gray team is currently 1-1. The Sayreville Middle School blue and gray girls basketball teams are currently 0-2. The Bombers wrestling team is currently 1-2. They face North Brunswick away on Thursday. The cheerleading competition teams are preparing for their upcoming season. The game day team cheered on the boys basketball team Friday and will be performing at the girls basketball game this Friday. All Music will be working on choreography this weekend. Both teams are looking forward to kicking off the winter season with the Winter Pep Rally on December 23rd. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak on behalf of the students at Sayreville Middle School.
Thank you, Samantha. Dr. Labby, do you have any questions?
I have some questions. Sam, can you help me out here? I heard this wild story that last week some big turkey was at the middle school. Is that true?
Yeah.
And he raced kids around for about a mile. Were you a part of that?
I had to go to cheer practice.
You had to go. I'm trying to confirm though that this turkey who thought he was pretty fast got smoked by about 15 kids.
My goodness.
Is that true? About 15 kids beat him in the race?
I didn't know that, but
Board members, if you weren't aware, Mr. Nurnberger dressed up in a turkey outfit, and he challenged the students in a race, thinking that he was going to beat them all. But about 15 of the kids, he said, were really, really fast, and they ended up beating him. So it sounds like we have some future cross-country runners over at the middle school. And I believe, one of them was Shane Walsh, was one of those. So, and how about you, Sam? Any special plans for the holidays? I would ask Dad, but you know.
just spending time with family.
Very nice answer, hon. Well, thank you very, very much, and we wish you and your family a very happy holidays too.
Thank you.
Have a great holiday, guys.
Great job as always, ladies.
Get the cream puffs.
Oh, I didn't get cream puffs. Gee whiz, you don't give me anything. Mrs. Bloom cooks me cookies. You could have got me a cream puff.
Just the girls.
No, I make him special cookies.
She does.
Okay, Board President, I have no comments at this time. Mr. Smith, will you please give us the district highlights?
Sure. Well, congratulations to the 2025-26 Governor's Educators of the Year, Governor's Education Services Specialists of the Year, and the Sayreville Education Association Education Support Professionals of the Years. Here are the recipients from all the schools, and again, congratulations to all these individuals. From Project Before at Cheesequake, Caitlin Lazito, Brittany Buab, Paul Sicola from Solover School, Christina Shavit, Dawn Civello, and Kerry Andrews from Arlith, Nicole Giacobbe, Megan Grove, and Luis Quinto. So from Eisenhower, Stephanie Denker, Kelly, I promise, I'm sorry if I kill any of these names. Kelly Murphy and Lauren Strano. From Truman, Andrea Lopez, Deanna Brock, and Virginia Cully. From the from Wilson School, Heather Monahan, Christina Kiernan, and Michelle Chiprich. From Sayreville Upper Elementary School, Betsy Kastman, Cassandra Cook, and Margaret Ritter. Cassandra Martin, sorry. Skipping lines there. Thank you, Ms. Bloom.
Blending names.
It is. And Tammy Taylor from the middle school, Ryan Donegan, Cassandra Cook, and Margaret Ritter. From the high school, Kelly Donnelly, Stephanie Morris, and Dawn Kosabucky. From transportation, Janet Kennedy, and from Bombers Beyond, John Corsello. Congratulations to Mr. Timothy Byrne, principal of the Wilson School, who recently was selected as the 2026 Garden State Film Festival's Educator of the Year. Congratulations to the Sayreville War Memorial Junior, Michaela Aguiman, who recently was selected on the National Leo Club Program Advisory Panel for Constitutional Area 1, the U.S. and its territories. Bravo and congratulations to the student performers and crew of the Sayreville War Memorial High School Theater Society for their impressive production of Jeff Cox's production of Puffs. Commendations to Mrs. Kelsey Rivera Wu and her incredible team of dedicated directors, designers, and volunteers who put on an incredible performance if you did not see it. Congratulations to the Sayreville Middle School student Patrick Walsh and Ryan Reuter, who played for the New Jersey American Youth Football Team and placed third in the national championship. And finally, congratulations to Wilson first grader Alexi Elias for winning 6 medals and for being crowned all-around champion during the recent Spartan Boys Invitational Gymnastics Championship. Pretty amazing feat.
Wow.
So, and that is all my updates there, Ms. Bloom.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Dr. Labby, we have presentations.
Oh, we have very special presentations. Obviously, when we have the opportunity to recognize and celebrate our amazing students, it becomes a great meeting. And today we have 3 very special teams, 3 championship teams to celebrate. We are also going to celebrate the high school field hockey team, but not tonight. We'll celebrate them on the January 20th meeting. But for this meeting, we have exceptional champions. Why don't we begin things with our Red Division game day and overall cheer champions. So if Mrs. Boyle could go to the podium, as well as, I think, Mrs. Hernandez. So Mrs. Hernandez will join you, Mrs. Boyle. And Mrs. Lynch, who should also be coaches of the year, for goodness sakes. And first of all, coaches and cheer team, I do want to apologize. I know that things were a little disappointing on Sunday. We have to always go with safety first. Don't know what was the matter with the Monroe athletic director and why they didn't go ahead and Yeah, so. But please accept my apologies. I'm so sorry about that.
That would be helpful. Sorry. Ready to cheer for our athletes and hang our Bombers flag in every venue we compete in. And our team of coaches, Mrs. Nicole Lynch, Samantha Ritter, and Miss Erin Handy, who invest so much time to help this program become what it is. Finally, our season would not have been as great as it was and will continue to be without the passion, hard work, dedication, and commitment of our athletes. We are extremely proud of this team's accomplishments and are looking forward to a winning season. We have certificates, and we have certificates for our girls as well as those certificates. Our first athlete, Zoe Anderson, Jada Benitez, Hannah Bagata. Come on up. Chrisandra Cabantan, Summer Curbello, Peyton Enriquez, Egypt Handy Hunter, Riley Hastings, Leah Hyslop, Madison Kehoe, Anivia Kenny, Ariana Kenny, Sophia Lasada, Kat Magaga Borovitz, Madison Maritoli, Gabriella Minio, Chloe Moultrie, Sarah Murphy, Alyssa Oddie, Ava Parsons, Jenny Peralta, Jada Ronquillo, Mackenzie Shack, Julie Sekrak, Casey Slavacek, Jillian Slavacek, Ava Sokolowski, McKenna Switzer, Emily Stokowski, Megan Talusma, Delilah Valoy, and Jada Walker. Missing quite a few. Everybody matches. I wonder if they plan. Should I take a picture? Yes.
You're blocked. I'm mad that we can't vote no. Yeah, but he said it could be discriminatory. Oh, Eli.
And because our cheer team does such a great job supporting our next group of outstanding athletes, I would like to ask Coach Poore and Mr. Callahan to approach the podium. So that, of course, we can recognize our Big Central Conference National Silver Division champion Sayreville Bomber football team.
Thank you, Dr. Labby.
And by the way, you should be Coach of the Year, too. What's up with that?
No comment. But first, I just want to say thank you to Dr. Labby and the board. It means a lot to have your support. And I see you guys at the games. I know I have my game face on and I'm a little focused, but I see you there, and we really do appreciate your support, and it means a lot. A special thank you to our athletic director, Ms. Jemba Danby. Without her, none of this is possible. A lot of meetings with her, talking stuff out, and she always has our backs and supports us, and I couldn't do it without her, so I just wanted to give a special thank you to her. I also want to give another shout out to my staff. We have a large staff, and a majority of them are volunteers. They volunteer their time. They don't see a penny, and it takes a special kind of person to do that, to give back to this town, and a town that I care very much about, being that I grew up here. I'm an alumni here. My daughter's here with me tonight. She attends school in this town, and it means a lot to me and my family, and I just want to say thank you to all of you. All right. Thank you. You know, it was a great season. We're happy to beat some of those teams this year. There were some great games, and coming home with the division means a lot, and I'm very proud of these boys. As much as the staff does, we couldn't do it without the kids, and their work ethic is pretty astronomical. They're here long hours, long nights, and they don't complain. They just get it done. So kids, or boys, if I call you your name, just come on up. I know some of you aren't here, but just come on up when we call your name. All right? Sherwin Apia, Chamari Atah, Sean Jackson, Christian Kelly, Mac Lord-Mania, Chase Barnes, Carson Martin, Ryan Sanforenzo, Gabriel Manson, Tyler Bucca, Daniel Nunez, Andrew Pavenza, Joe Curbello, Connor Eckert, George Zapata, Chris Perez, Kenny Nawako, Christian Woodard, Dion Osei, Julian Fields, Lo Wayne Green, Brian Giordano, Nathan Santana, Mike Carmona, Amir Abdullah, Ronaldo Zapata, Paul Langless, Diego Santiago, Destin Petaway, Shane Newberry, Diego Segarra, Grady Walsh, Stephen Cavallaro, Nathan Oliver, Adrian Ciesla, Lucas Tang, Brian Zangrillo, Christian Rodriguez Santos, Jacob Zangrillo, Dimitri Desario, Frankie Santora, Yadili Atah, Ivan Ventura, Jimmy Seha, Aiden Martinez Miller, Christian Kutla, Connor McKevitt, Colin Russell, Isaiah Harley, Kellen Bowers, Emmanuel Escobar, Julian Perez, Julian Piachowski, Nato Abuswo, Kenny Pesci, Elijah Tompkins, John Hernandez Familia, James Parker, and David Akinchillo. It's a lot of names. I did a number order.
champions. Congratulations, guys. Give a big hand. So I mentioned earlier that Mr. Nurnberger had a race and didn't do so well. I imagine that if he would have raced against this next team, he would have really not done so well. So it's my honor now to recognize and celebrate the GMC, I believe, Mr. Coach Bosfa, it's the Gold Division cross-country champion, our girls cross-country team, who just recently won that, and Coach Pasa was Coach of the Year. So please give a big hand for our Greater Middlesex Conference Gold Division Girls Cross Country Team Champions.
Thank you, Dr. Labby and Board of Education members for welcoming us here tonight. Really appreciate it. Over the years, myself and Coach Logan have had the honor and the privilege of working with a lot of very talented teams, but very honestly, this year's team is one of the teams I'm most proud of because they really were kind of against the odds all year. In cross country, a full varsity squad is 7 members, and you need 5 team members to compete in any event. We only had 6 girls on the entire team, and only 3 of them were returning varsity members. So from the get-go, we knew the odds were kind of stacked against us. We had a lot of conversations preseason about everybody needs to step up. Everyone's a varsity member this year, whether you were JV last year, whether you were a freshman coming in this year. We need you all every meet. We need you to be at your best every meet, and we need you all at a divisional level competition. And the girls all rose to those expectations beautifully. We went undefeated in the regular season.
Wow.
We were top 5 in the conference at our conference championships, and of the 6 girls, 5 were named to either the all-division team or the all-conference team. Along the way, we also had Angela Lepre break the school record. She's the first Sayreville girls runner to ever break 19 minutes in the 5K.
Wow.
So a phenomenal season.
Amazing.
So we'll be quick for you. Let's call our girls up now. You want me to?
I know. She's got the easy one.
Kelly Garcia Pereira, who was all division. Morgan Kuntz, who was one of our all conference selections.
Hey, Morgan!
Julia Kuklich, who was all division. Angelia Lepre, all conference. Sophia Stanley, all division as a freshman. And Dia Yeruva, who is not here this evening. Thank you very much.
So, Mrs. Bloom, once again, we celebrate these remarkable and extraordinary student athletes, and we thank them for the impeccable manner in which they have represented Sayreville War Memorial High School, the Sayreville Public Schools, and the greater Sayreville community. And that wraps up my report. Good night, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Congrats, and thanks for coming. Mark, keep your chin up. You deserved it.
And I'm sure there's one or two of the troublemakers in here. That's okay. She keeps looking. Who the hell are you, lady? Oops. Wow, talk about knowing how to clear a room, huh? Okay, we will now move on with the board discussion. The first committee is Finance and Infrastructure. Mrs. Pabon?
Hello. We did meet, the Finance and Infrastructure Committee met, and we reviewed the findings of our audit with the auditors. The good news was there was no discrepancies or anything. Actually, we were commended about how good the books, our budget is maintained and how we have reserved, money going into capital reserve, that we have, some money left over. And they had made it clear that that wasn't the case in every district. And as we know, districts around us are actually in a position where they have to cut services, cut things. And we are in a very good financial position due to the good work of our business administrator. The one thing that was found is that we have to spend some more money of the food money, like the food committee money, because the government gave it to us during COVID, and we only can spend it on things that are related to food services. So, little by little, we have been getting that dollar down. So, very good job. Jimmy talked about the updates on the referendum projects. We're really doing very good. Pretty much many things, almost everything is done. However, there's little issues going on, and they're not big issues, but climate control is not a little issue. But there's some spaces where they're just, because of everything's installed new, they have to make some adjustments, so they're working on that thing as well. They talked about the bathrooms at the, let me just make sure it's the right school, Eisenhower are nearly complete, okay? So once they're done, they're gonna be getting rid of the other two older bathrooms, so that project's almost completed. And we're almost putting together and installed all the furniture for the esports lab. We are waiting for the greenhouse, right? The greenhouse to be delivered. That has been put off numerous times, so Jimmy and we all agreed that in the event that it's delayed again, we're gonna cancel the order, because it's been too long, and, it doesn't make sense to keep holding it up. Oh, the vendors for the new electric signs for the middle school, Samsol, Arliss, and Eisenhower will begin installing them very soon. So as you pass by the schools, you're going to see the nice, beautiful signs that we're proud to have to announce our schools in those areas. And that's pretty much it. So, good news on the finance front.
Thank you, Mrs. Pabon. Anybody have any questions on finance? No? Okay. Personnel, Mr. Callahan?
All right. Personnel Committee met earlier this evening to discuss the current open positions, both certificated and non-certificated, as well as we talked about the district fill rates for substitutes, which the numbers are looking very good compared to last year and the years before that, getting better. We also discussed the job fair, the mid-year job fair that's coming up on January 15th. That job fair will focus primarily on recruiting for substitutes and non-certificated staff. And lastly, we discussed the dual certification pathways grant, which was approved. And then the next meeting will be, I think, January 6th. Oh, then in January.
Oh, who it'll be, because new committee.
We'll release those meeting dates soon after reorganization.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Callahan. Student achievement, do you want to do that one as well?
I
Mr.
got that
Callahan?
too.
We got you.
So last
ahead.
Tuesday, the Board of Education Student Achievement Committee met. Mrs. Grossman presented the proposed reorganization of the middle school elective offerings for the 2026-2027 school year. That maintains the required electives that they're supposed to take by grade level, while expanding student choice in such areas as computer science, the arts, music, world language, career exploration with band options as well. The proposed changes are designed to create clearer pathways and more consistent access to the electives, and they're all on tonight's agenda for approval. Mrs. Grossman also shared the fall NJ GPA results, noting that 40% of the eligible seniors passed the ELA assessment, with only 4 students still needing to meet those graduation requirements. On the math side, 16% passed the math assessment. They're still working with 93 students towards meeting their graduation requirements as well. In addition, the committee reviewed the request for 3 new high school student organizations: Mind Meets Machine, Icing with Impact, and United Medical Alliance, which are all on tonight's agenda as well. And lastly, the committee discussed the proposed middle school course title change from Finding Your Digital Voice to Journalism and Public Speaking, which is also going to be in effect for the 2026-2027 school year. That's just to improve clarity and reduce student confusion. And our next meeting will be next year as well, sometime in January.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Callahan. Middlesex County School Board Association, we had our meeting at the Colonia High School. Mr. Fernandez joined me at that meeting, and that was basically a security and safety meeting where they displayed and actually allowed us to pass through at the end of the meeting their brand-new state-of-the-arts metal detectors, which are like the ones that you have at the airport where the bag goes right through, so the bag does not have to be searched, and, you know, the same type of high security that they have at the airport, so that was really nice. Are you a friend of Mr. Massimino?
Yes.
I was absolutely drooling. The man is so handsome, I couldn't believe it. I was sitting right in front of him.
Dr.
and I was like-
Massimino.
But anyway, however, I did have to file a complaint with Tim, because we go into the cafeteria, which is where the meeting was held, and, you know, they do service dinner. And it was the picnic tables with the benches attached. So you literally had to climb in. And, you know, I was smart, I sat on the end. The poor people who were in the middle literally had to climb back out again. Poor Eloy had to go stand by the wall because there was no back support for like 2.5 hours. So I did register a complaint that they should make sure, moving forward, that it's a grown-up seat and a comfortable environment for the members, because as I said to them, I'm old, I need to be comfortable, and my colleagues need to be comfortable as well. But the meeting itself was very informative. Some interesting questions were brought up about security, which, you know, I'll share with you when we have our next meeting. But it was a worthwhile meeting, and the next meeting will be a virtual meeting in February on the 4th. So that's because, you know, they don't want to have to worry about bad weather. So the next county meeting will be virtual.
Mrs. Bloom, can I interject?
Yes, sir.
And I have to apologize, I did forget to include a governance committee meeting summary. We did have a governance committee meeting in November. We didn't have one in December, so I don't want to put you on the spot, Mr. Fernandez, but can Mr. Fernandez give a review of what we discussed during governance in November?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Labby. During the meeting, Eric reviewed 2 policies and regulations that will be presented to the board today. Policy 2530, which was a revision, updates and clarifies the district's framework for the selection, use, and review of instructional and supplemental resource materials. The update language ensures alignment with the current law and best practices, reinforces professional standards for educators, and provides clearer guidance on how instructional resources are evaluated to support student learning while remaining age-appropriate, educationally sound, and consistent with district goals. We also had a new policy, 2535, library materials. This new policy establishes a formal, transparent process for the curation, review, and when necessary, reconsideration of library materials. It outlines clear roles, timelines, and criteria to ensure that library collection reflect educational values, intellectual freedoms, and a diverse perspective, while also providing a structured and respectful process for addressing concerns raised by parents, community members. Importantly, this policy helps ensure consistency, fairness, and compliance with recent state guidance and legislation. In addition to the policy, Eric provided legal updates on New Jersey Bill S-4488, which proposes revisions to the requirements and procedures related to non-renewal of non-tenured staff. The committee discussed the potential implications of this legislation, including changes to timelines, due process consideration, and administrative responsibilities, should the bill be enacted. And that's it for my update.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody have any questions? No? Okay, at this time, we will open to public for presentation and agenda items only.
We're on the agenda.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Mickey Fisher. I'm a Sayreville resident. I live on Kierst Street. I had a question. So, Chris, you mentioned 3 of the, how many clubs were there? 1, 2, 3.
Chris.
7, right? You mentioned 3 of them. Mind Meets Machine, Icing with Impact, United Medical Alliance. What did, I missed what you said about those 3 particularly?
They're on tonight's agenda for approval.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I missed it, okay. Well, all 7 of them are, right? There should be 7?
The other 4 were discussed at the earlier Student Achievement Committee. So they are all up to be approved this evening, but 4 were discussed last month and 3 were discussed this month.
Oh, I
I
understand.
mentioned those 4 the previous time. I only mentioned the 3.
Oh, I understand. I'm sorry. I understand. Okay, great. And then my question was, is there a place on your school website that describes these clubs, like who the advisor is, what are they all about?
The high school does have on their website, so if you go through the district website to Sayreville War Memorial High School, there is an updated list of clubs and student activities.
Oh, and that would explain what these clubs are.
Yes.
Right, because I had a question, like what esports was. Okay, great.
Esports is a competitive team that plays video games for competitive levels. It's something that's recognized by the NCAA and colleges, and more high schools are adopting programs.
Cool.
And they can get a degree in esports.
You can get a degree in esports? Wow.
And scholarships.
Wow. News to me. Okay, so the high school, you'd have to go under high school to find a description of the clubs. Okay. Got it. Oh, and Eloy, the 2535 policy, sir, where is the explanation of that policy? Is there a place to find, like, an explanation of that policy?
So, yeah, I'm going to defer that one to Dr. Labby. You can probably speak more intelligently about that than I can as to where to find it.
The policies you can find on the website underneath our meeting, where we go ahead and list our meetings. All the attachments are right there.
Okay, so under Board of Ed meetings.
Go into Board of
agenda.
Education meetings and find December 16th, and all the attachments are there. There's a new curriculum guide there. There's also the new policies
Okay, great.
for a first reading.
And that would explain 2535. Okay, thank you, sir. Good. I think that's it. Thank you.
Anybody else on presentation and agenda items only? Okay. Seeing none, we'll close public, and Dr. Labby?
Okay, if I can bring everyone's attention to finance and infrastructure. I just want to say at the beginning, I know Eileen mentioned it in her committee review. We did have the auditors in to discuss the 2024-2025 annual comprehensive fiscal report and the auditor's management report. Normally, the next board meeting, we would ask you to approve that. We're not asking you to approve it yet because we haven't submitted it yet, because due to the government shutdown, the federal government did not release what are called our federal compliance supplements. And we need those federal compliance supplements in order to submit our audit. So the Department of Education was gracious enough to recognize that and has allowed now school districts to wait until we receive our federal compliance supplements to actually submit and ask our boards of education to approve our audits. So I think you could probably inspect sometime in January, probably the January 20th meeting. We'll ask you to approve the final budget, final audit for the 2024-2025 school year. I don't believe it'll take that much longer to get our federal compliance supplements. All right? So I just want to mention that as to why we're not asking you to approve it tonight. So let's begin with number 15 and 16, which you can find on page 3. Naturally, we're so appreciative for the generous donations that we get. We got another incredibly generous donation from the New York Giants and the New Jersey Educators Association in recognition of Rosa Morgan, who is the Educator of the Week, and she's one of our bus aides. She's actually going to get 4 tickets to a home game for the Giants. Hopefully they play well that day. And they're also donating $1,000 to the school district, so we're very appreciative of that. And then just recently, Habitat Adejo, who is a community member, went ahead and also donated $1,000 to the Woodrow Wilson School for playground equipment. So we're very appreciative of her as well. So we're asking you to approve those donations. Numbers 18 and 19, which you can find on page 4. I think Mr. Callahan spoke about it earlier, the dual certification pathway grant. And Ms. Burt has been hard at work with the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey to go ahead and get us that grant. And with the amount of people that she recruited and Dr. Aguilisa recruited to go ahead and participate, in which they're now going to get reimbursed, the district's going to get reimbursed for all the credit completion that they're going to do to earn new certificates in one of many different areas. So the total reimbursement that we're going to receive is $95,557.14. So we can't thank you enough for working toward us getting that grant. So we're asking you to accept that grant in that amount for those 13 staff members that are participating. Also, we're asking you to approve the submission of 9 2026 full-year Connect Safely grants on behalf of each Sayreville school, where each grant is actually $1,000, so it's a total of a $9,000 grant. And you can find both of those grants on page 4. Number 20, which you can also find on page 4, we're asking you to approve a change order. And normally when we ask you to approve change orders, it's to pay out a certain amount of money, where we have a project that we didn't really recognize, but when we have projects we're required to portion a certain percentage of the amount of it off, just in case we have change orders. In this particular case, with the parking lot expansion project at the Eisenhower School, we did do that, and we did use some of that money, but there's $12,951 that we didn't use, so we're asking you to approve a change order to credit capital reserve with that money. Conversely, numbers 21 through 23, as well as 43 in the addendum, and pages 4 and 5, as well as 43 on the addendum, we're asking you to approve change orders where we're actually needing to take a portion of those funds for the bond referendum projects. So as Mrs. Pabon mentioned earlier, we're nearly complete. We're going through, our punch list for each school, but we did recognize there are certain projects that we still need to do that we might not have recognized earlier that we need to do. One case in point is our kitchen at the Arla School. We didn't recognize that when we went ahead and moved the HVAC system to be more efficient, we didn't provide heating in that area. So now, change order 43 is to provide heating for the kitchen, electric heating there. So, again, in most projects, it's about 20%. We're getting there with all of our projects. We haven't even come close to 20% in the total bond referendum projects. So, we're asking you to approve those change orders. And then I believe Mrs. Pabon also spoke about this. One of the findings in the audit, not a recommendation, a finding, again, is the fact that we have to spend down that surplus that we have in food services, in our food services enterprise account. So we're on number 25 and 44, which you can find on page 5 in the addendum. We're actually asking you to approve the purchase of a number of different pieces of equipment for our kitchens across the district. Any questions on those items or anything else on finance and infrastructure? Okay, seeing none, let's go to student achievement. Unfortunately, we are asking you to approve the long-term suspension for several students, and you can find that on page 15. Number 2, which you can find also on page 15, I mentioned it earlier, we're asking you to approve the revised physical education, that will be the 10th grade physical education curriculum guide. And as I mentioned earlier, you can find that curriculum guide on our website. You go to the BOE meetings. Underneath it, choose December 16th, and you can find all the attachments, and that would be one of the attachments. We're also asking you to approve the name changes for 2 courses at the middle school. Mr. Callahan did a great job of explaining why we needed to do that. That's number 3, and you can find that on page 15. Number 4, which you can also find on page 15, we're asking you to approve the several new courses that, again, Mr. Callahan referenced earlier, that are going to be offered at the high school beginning in the 2026-2027 school year. And then also, as referenced earlier, and as was questioned during open public comment, we are asking you to approve several new high school student clubs and organizations. And those are all listed on page 15 under number 5.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Who was proving these new clubs? Who started the clubs? Like, how do they begin?
So it depends on the club. I think most of the time, I would say probably 90% of the time, it's kids that find an advisor, and they work with an advisor who is a faculty member, and then they submit a form to the principal. The principal then contacts Ms. Grossman, and they discuss it, and ultimately, they contact me, and we make a decision as to whether to make the recommendation for you to approve it. Ms. Grossman, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Just that we review all the applications in student achievement as well.
I think we had one particular case this year where we had a staff member that actually was the person initiating it.
And then the esports was initiated because it was a district goal to bring the team.
Absolutely, yeah.
So in the event that somebody wanted to form a club that really wasn't appropriate for the school, you would be denied?
More than likely.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Page 14. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with wellness students. What is that?
Those are students that are in the wellness club that was approved earlier this year. So it's students that work with the student assistant counselors at the high school and at the middle school. And in this case, some of the members of the wellness club from the high school are going down to talk about stress management and time management at the middle school.
All right, so my question is, because in here we are approving one more bus to move them to the high school, to the middle school.
One of the students uses a wheelchair, so it is an accommodation.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
You know, Mrs. Hernandez, I asked the same question during one of our meetings. So
That's why I knew it was an answer bus.
good eye, good eye. And you can see that we have it twice. There's 2 actually trips.
Yeah, I was going to ask about R, so, yeah.
2 trips.
Yep.
Good job.
Thank
We're
you.
trying to keep you guys on your toes. I want to put in there somewhere, are you reading this?
We are.
Thank you.
To be
Any other
clear on that
questions on-
we, they mean they. I totally did not read it.
I figured as much, Mr. Fernandez. Any, any other questions on student achievement? All right, so let's move to governance, beginning with number 2, which you can find on page 17, and this was also referenced earlier, and Mr. Fernandez did a really nice job of summarizing both. We're asking you to approve the revision to one existing policy and regulation, as well as a new policy and regulation, and both of those are for first readings, which means obviously that we'll be able to take your feedback on those policies and regulations if you want before we go ahead and ask you to approve them for a second and final reading during the January 20th Board of Education business meeting. And then finally, big news, we discussed this a little bit in closed session. We're asking you to approve a settlement agreement with Green Skies, who is the financer as well as contractor for our solar energy power purchase agreement project at the high school. So I'm proud to say that if you go ahead and approve this, that legal matter will finally be behind us, and we'll be able to move forward with Shorelands, the company who you approved during the last business meeting, to complete the project without any kind of ties attached. So this will amicably sever our ties with Green Skies. For that project, we still are working with them in terms of the solar energy that we collect from the other projects in the district. But for that particular project, that ends this legal battle.
And I guess it's important to note, Dr. Labby, with the high school only, all the revenue we generate from that will come back to the school district?
It will, yes. All the solar energy that we collect is ours, so that when we go ahead and, give that back to JCP&L, we'll get those SRECs, we'll get those revenues from that. So that's a big piece. And
fantastic.
by the way, it's the largest project of all the projects.
That will save the district a lot of money and power.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that. And again, you can find that on the addendum, and that's number 3 on the addendum. Any questions on governance? All right, seeing none, we do have a bittersweet moment here for you, and I'll try to be brief. We are asking you to graciously accept the retirement of 2 very, very special people in the district, beginning with Lynn Taylor. Lynn Taylor began her teaching in Sayreville in 1999. She's obviously our physical education teacher at the Sayreville Upper Elementary School. She began in Sayreville in 1999, sharing her passion for athletics, healthy living, and sportsmanship with students and colleagues at Sayreville Middle School, the Sayreville Upper Elementary School, and as the athletic director or director of athletics. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Known for her firm but fair approach, she built strong relationships with students, guided athletes in field hockey and softball, and consistently collaborated with colleagues to enhance physical education and health lessons. As a lifelong learner, Ms. Taylor pursued graduate studies and professional development, presented at many staff development days, and contributed to initiatives such as the Disabilities Awareness Week, Special Olympics, and the Kids Heart Challenge. She also helped rewrite curricula, hosted camps and clubs, and served on multiple district committees. Her dedication, leadership, and I underscore leadership, and creativity have left a lasting impact on the district. As she retires on June 30th, 2026, we celebrate her truly remarkable career and thank her for enriching the lives of the countless students and colleagues that she served so well and impeccably. We wish her continued success, health, and happiness in the years ahead. So we congratulate Ms. Taylor on her well-deserved retirement. And again, this one hits hard for me. I had the opportunity to work really closely with Lynn during a very delicate period of time for the school district and personally in my career. Obviously, we were all aware of the hazing, incident that occurred back in the fall of 2014. That led to us looking for a new athletic director. We needed an athletic director that was a strong leader that could get us through that very turbulent time. And I can't thank Ms. Taylor enough for stepping up and being that leader that I needed and we all needed. So I will forever be in Ms. Taylor's debt for her courage, her dedication, her commitment to this school district and this community, and most importantly, for her leadership. We're also asking you to accept the retirement of Michael Prignano, the lead custodian, the night lead custodian here at SAMHSA. Both of these are effective, by the way, July 1, 2026. Michael Prignano joined the Sayreville Public Schools as a custodian in June 2013 and has been a reliable, dedicated presence on our night shift ever since. As the night lead of the SAMHSA Upper Elementary School, he has been the quiet force that kept evenings running smoothly. We are grateful for his hard work, steady commitment, and the countless behind-the-scenes contributions that help keep this building clean and running smoothly. We thank him for all the little things that made such a big difference in so many of us. We wish Michael all the best as he retires and begins this next chapter. Congratulations, Michael, and thank you so much for the extraordinary years of service that you provided us. And again, we congratulate Michael on his very well-deserved retirement. Also in personnel, as we always do on number 14 and 15, as well as 36 and 37, which you can find on pages 23, 24 in the addendum, we're asking you to approve the hire of new certificated and non-certificated staff for this school year. Likewise, we're asking you to approve of number 16 and 17, as well as 38, which can be found on pages 24 and 25 in the addendum, the approval to transfer non-certificated staff for this school year. And then finally, numbers 18 and 19, which can be found on pages 25 and 26, we're asking you to approve coaches and advisors with their stipends for this school year. And unless there are any questions on personnel, Mrs. Bloom, that concludes my report.
Well done. Well done.
All done.
Good job, Dr. Labby. Any questions for Dr. Labby from any board members? No? Okay. Seeing none, we will open to public. Oh, I'm sorry. We need a motion to approve the agenda.
So
Getting
moved.
ahead of myself.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Callahan,
Yes.
Mr. Fernandez,
Yes.
Mrs. Hernandez. I'll get back to her. Mrs. Maldonado,
Yes.
Mrs. Napolitano.
Yes.
Mrs. Pabon. Yes. Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
and, okay, do you want me to wait for?
I think we can, I think she might.
So how about that Heisman Trophy, huh? By the way, not to mention, he was Cuban.
And more importantly, he beat Ohio.
What? Yeah, I couldn't find who she was.
Mrs. Hernandez? Vote on the agenda?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
We wait patiently. I know. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. We will now, excuse me, we'll now open to public participation for any questions that the public may have. I remind you that the session runs 30 minutes. Each speaker has 3 minutes, and we ask several residents to speak first. If you intend to speak, please line up so that we don't waste time. Anybody with questions?
Just so everybody knows, the video is not working tonight, but the ding will still go off at your 3 minutes.
Hello, Jessica Vant, Scarlet Drive. I'm here as a parent once again to ask you to revisit Policy 5756. At prior meetings, this board has stated it will consider facts related to this policy and that you're not interested in testimony from outside parties. In that spirit, I am presenting factual information tonight, and I'm speaking on behalf of more than 4,700 residents in this town who intentionally voted for a parental rights platform. Here are the facts. There is documented evidence that outside advocacy groups are actively working to influence local school board decisions related to Policy 5756. A man named Michael Gottsman, associated with the New Jersey Public Education Coalition, has publicly engaged in efforts to recruit and advise school board members across the state. These efforts include hosting Zoom meetings and providing guidance on navigating board dynamics and policy votes, including 5756. I know this because I was on his Zoom meeting last week. Mr. Gottsman, who does not reside in this district, has participated in local Sayreville social media forums. Here he is, currently a member of one of our local Facebook groups. He organizes protests at school board meetings throughout New Jersey. In fact, one is scheduled by him tomorrow in Colts Neck. And he has submitted multiple Oprah requests to our school district. Here they are. Specifically pertaining to our sex ed curriculum and our opt-out program for parents. Here is documentation from a recent Zoom meeting hosted for newly elected board members. The slide reads, "How can you, the newbie, influence the outcome of a vote on Policy 5756? At one point in the meeting, a newly elected board member asked when it would be appropriate to seek guidance from Mr. Gottsman rather than the NJSBA. This is extremely concerning when it comes to transparency, local control, and the role of outside actors in decisions that affect our children. Another one of these outside advocacy groups seeking to disrupt the removal of 5756 is Garden State Equality. Today, NJ.com reported that their executive director has been charged with child endangerment. This concern is compounded by a broader legislative trend in Trenton that are moving in the direction many parents find troubling. For example, Bills A2874, S3156, A4369, all in the Assembly and the Senate in Trenton. Number 1 would lower the age of consent to mental health care treatment to 14 years old. Number 2 would allow boards of education to lease school property to health centers without going out to competitively bid. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mary Savinsky, and I'm from Sayreville, New Jersey, 44 Bassett Street. I am here to formally oppose New Jersey Policy 5756. As a Sayreville resident who is very active in their community, as a committee woman in District 28, I have spoken with many parents and taxpayers who greatly oppose this policy. As a parent, my responsibility is the safety, the health, and the well-being of my child. Policy 5756 allows the board to remove parents from critical conversations involving a child's identity, emotional health, and school experience. No school policy should place educators in a position where they are encouraged to withhold information from a child's parent. That undermines trust and erodes the essential partnership between families and schools. The policy disguises itself as protective, but it instead promotes parental alienation and assumes that the parent is dangerous and not accepting. Excluding parents does not protect children, it isolates them. It also places an unreasonable burden on school staff to navigate deeply personal matters without family involvement. Additionally, Policy 5756 creates confusion and inconsistency. Parents deserve clarity about what schools are required to do and what's right families to retain. When policies are vague and one-sided, they invite conflict rather than cooperation. I want to be very clear. Opposing this policy does not mean opposing compassion, dignity, or self-respect for any student. We can support every child while still honoring the fundamental roles of parents. These are not mutually exclusive values. I respectfully ask this board to revisit the policy 5756, consider revisions that prioritize transparency and restore parental involvement as a cornerstone of student support. Families and schools work best when we work together. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Hello, Mickey Fisher, Kirst Street. At the last meeting, November 18th meeting, I mentioned during the public comment session, I asked about the Board of Ed, if the Board of Ed had a policy for teachers when they have transgender students in their classrooms and/or locker rooms. And then I looked up transgender student guidance for school districts. I'm reading from that. It's the New Jersey Transgender Student Guidance for School Districts. And it says in item number 3 under safe and supportive environment, it says, unfortunately, it says school districts should provide staff training on sensitivity and respect towards transgender students. That's exactly what I was asking about. So I don't think you guys can answer me right now, but I'll be sending an email because I would like to know the answer to that question. If you have a policy providing staff training on sensitivity and respect towards transgender students. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Joe Ryan, excuse me, 12 Scarlet Drive. I'm here not just as a parent and grandparent who opposes policy 5756, but also as someone who has watched generations of children grow up in this community. One thing I have learned is that when schools and families work together, children thrive. When they're pulled apart, like 5756 will do, everyone loses, especially the kids. I want to express my concern about any policy that might distance or exclude parents from their children's education and well-being. We parents aren't obstacles, we're partners with the community. The people who love these children the most, who raise them, who guide them, and who will be with them long after their education is complete. I'm not here to fight the school, just policy 5756. I would also like to remind everyone that trust is built through transparency, communication, and collaboration, which we all need to do together. If a policy makes parents feel excluded, confused, or shut out, it will tear the family fabric apart, which is meant to strengthen the family dynamic, not tear it apart. Let's commit to policy that strengthen the bond between school and home, not weaken it. Keep parents informed and included. We know women do most of the nurturing in the family, but to the men of the board here, and men that may be in the room, life is busy, but how often do you sit with your children, play with them? You know, do you take the time to really listen to their issues, their struggles? Men were once the nucleus of the family. Sadly, in our current day, men are not the leaders they once were. Maybe it's time to pull your loved ones close and be that guiding force that they are often lacking in search of. Then maybe, just maybe, policies like 5756 would not be needed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Kim Lindley. I'm a former teacher, a mom, and an aunt of a niece who lives in Sayreville. In New Jersey, we are allowed to attend public meetings. The Sunshine Law has another name called the Open Public Meeting Act. This law enables people the right to attend meetings of the state. This law enables the public to witness in full detail the deliberation, policy formulation, and the decision of making of public policy. This information was from the Jersey Sunshine Law Primer, Your Rights to Attend and Speak at Governing Body and School Board Meetings, January 20th, 2024. The reason I mentioned this was to clarify that anyone is allowed to attend a school board meeting. Another reason I bring up the Sunshine Law was from the board meeting in August. The microphone wasn't working when I spoke. This may seem trivial, however, the public watching online and those attending in person could not hear what I had said. At that meeting, I mentioned the Board of Ed, the microphone wasn't on, and I was told you, the Board of Ed members, heard and to sit down. Though it is important to be heard by the Board of Ed members, I believe it is equally important that the public hear as well. Does it not violate my right to comment in a public meeting? Would my microphone not working at a past meeting fall under the California Brown Act? What is the purpose of not allowing someone to speak when they weren't heard? At the last meeting, it was brought up for the board members to work together to make a new policy. This was shut down by 3 board members, if I am not mistaken. How does this make sense? Who suffers? The school board members are to be working for the good of the children. Why would school board members not want to work together? When you are watching the Board of Ed members not willing to work together for the good of the children, it makes you wonder. Another question. Why would a school board want a policy that enables kindergartners to make complex decisions which they aren't capable of making? What type of school board encourages their teachers not to tell mom or dad or to allow the school social worker to act in lieu of the parent and keep a separate file? A child is able to determine when mom and dad find out when they are not a boy or really a girl. The student is living 2 different lives that mom and dad don't know about. Policy 5756 breaks down the communication lines between the parent and the teacher. When would a parent know to trust the school when they can't keep secrets from the parent? How can a student focus on school when they don't know who they are? Please reconsider for the children to work together to create a new policy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Kim Blanda from Old Bridge, New Jersey, and we do have a family business in Sayreville. Thank you, school board members and all. One thing that we all have in common is we love the children and have the best interest at heart. We just see things differently. May I propose open and honest communication between schools, teachers, and parents? Shouldn't parents, most of whom love their children more than anything in the world, be made aware of their children if their child is hurt or suffering? And shouldn't parents who've been blessed with these children to love, guide, nurture, teach, and protect them for a short 18 years or so be made aware of very significant issues in schools regarding their children, like changes concerning gender or what pronoun they'd like to be called? How is it good or acceptable for the school to keep such information from a parent? And how does this build trust between the school and families? And do secrets not discourage trust between a child and parent? Please let us reason together. Please rescind policy 5756. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Victoria Pepe. I live on Pulaski Ave, and I do oppose policy 5756. I just have 3 questions. How does Sayreville Board of Education balance student privacy with parents' legal responsibility for their children's health, safety, and well-being? What safeguards are in place to ensure parents are not excluded from significant decisions involving a child's identity, mental health, or medical services connected to the school? And finally, what formal process allows Sayreville parents to be informed, ask questions, and appeal actions taken under these policies? I appreciate your clear answers on the record. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Atif Gali. I'm a Sayreville resident for 22 years. And before I start, I have 2 requests. I appreciate if you can give me notice, like 20, 30 seconds before the speech ended. And the second thing, if you can lower the volume of this bell a little bit. I find it a little bit distracting. Thank you. And the word of today, it's on behalf of one of the Sayreville residents, and he is a parent and also one of my campaign supporter. And here it is. My name is Part Lori and live in Candle Drive, Parlin. I'm the father of the 3rd grader in the district. I'm actively co-parenting my child, and I'm here to speak against New Jersey Policy 5756, When a child is a part of dual household family, consistency and communication really matter. Co-parenting only works when both parents know what's going on and can support their child together. Policy 5756 makes that harder by allowing schools to keep important information from the parents, which can create gaps in communication and affect child stability. The policy doesn't reflect the reality many families live with every day. When one parent is left out of the loop about significant issue at the school, it can lead to confusion, tension, and added stress for the child at home. Transparency isn't harmful. It's protective, especially for kids who are moving between two households. I'm asking the board to consider Policy 5756 and look for a better balance that keeps parents informed and involved while still supporting students. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from public? Okay, seeing none, we will close public. Take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Meeting is adjourned.